to see you, man. I haven't seen you and the band. I was trying to figure it out. I do believe it was like, it could have been 2018 when I did a one-on-one video interview with you guys. And I do believe it was with Warner Music.
Yeah.
And it was at a hotel. And it was before COVID, or like we didn't even know the word COVID or anything like that. And it's funny because when I was thinking about it, and I know I've got a picture somewhere, and hopefully I can find it. Um, it's so weird when I think about it from when I was talking to you guys because you had a show in Toronto and you had an album to what things are now. Man, the world has changed. Has it changed for you?
Um, yes and no. Yes, as in, everything kind of got extremely busy for us. Um, but I mean, it's almost like this year, or I guess 2023 was almost as, I think, as busy as it was for us in Scars and Souvenirs days back in 08, 09, which was insane. So, I mean, it's good that way. Um, but I don't actually no, I don't think there's been any bad about it. It was nice to have a break, and now we're back out just working as much as possible.
Which is a good thing, man. When you think about the band and now its legacy, because we can talk about legacy with this band of hard, grueling, kick ass rock. And you guys have been doing it from day one. How does it feel now being the elder statesman when we talk about Canadian rock? Because you guys are definitely in the word and the mention when we talk about that.
It's what's the right word here? I think it's humbling to know that we've been doing this for this long and we have literally no plans to stop. I mean, we actually want to keep going even harder now, which is amazing. And the fact that we all get along, like it's actually unreal. It's kind of weird. I mean, we still talk when we're off the road, even though we're on the road together so long, we still talk on a pretty regular basis, making plans for the future, new music. It's pretty impressive that we've been able to do this for this long and still enjoy it. And I think we enjoy it more now than we ever have, which is, I think, going to really help us, in the long run going forward.
Well, we are going to talk about new music because there is a new album. But I also want to make sure we talk about one of the big reasons why we're together, Fallsview Casino. You guys
Yes.
are heading to the Niagara Falls area, which has been hit with a lot of snow lately. But I know you guys can melt it. Talk about this show, man. What's the show going to be like? And congrats on heading down there.
Thank you. We're excited to go. We understand that, yeah, well, there is some weather, but I mean that's standard, right? It happens every year. It's not like it's not surprising. We all got to fly in from different cities across Canada and the United States, so that should be interesting to see if we can make it all. But if we do, we're really excited to be there. I think it's going to be. I think our show is going to be pretty much what we've been doing on our major tours, um, which is basically playing the hits. So we're going to be bringing our, I'd say maybe half of our production, maybe not our full touring rig, but it's definitely going to be a fun show that way. We'll still have our new stage and all that stuff. So something to look forward to for the fans if they haven't seen it yet. Um, and like I said, it's going to be, I think we're playing everything from all 8 records, I think.
Yes.
So that should be fun. Yeah. So it's going to be a mix of everything.
I love one question I love to ask when bands become the statesman. Is there one particular song that you know you have to play or fans will tear the place down going, what the hell? I paid my ticket. You're doing that damn song.
Yes, there is 100%. There is one song that if we didn't play it, they wouldn't show up. I think it's "Bad Girlfriend," but I mean they're screaming it from the get go, right? We finished the first song, "Bad Girlfriend." You can hear them in the It's like, yeah, we know, we're not gonna not play it. We'll play it. but you still get the like we still get like B-side songs getting yelled at all the time, which a lot of time we don't have time to play because we only play for 90 minutes usually. So when you have 8 records, it's hard. It's really hard to play everybody's favorite. But Bad Girlfriend is gotta play that.
You know, you mentioned it a couple of times already. 8 albums. Did you guys ever think that you would be able to say 8 albums? A lot of bands can't even say 2 before whatever, if it's the industry, commotion in between the band members, something. They don't even make it to that. What's that like to feel like, man, to be able to say 8 albums and then knowing in the back of your head that number can still go up?
Yeah, it's we're blessed, honestly, because you're right. It doesn't happen very often for a lot of bands. That's why I said it's humbling to think that we can still do that. Um, and it makes me feel, I can't speak for the other guys, but it makes me feel proud to think that I came in as a non-member, I'm the only non-original, and they were already established, and then we were able to then bring me in '08, and then be able to continue that with an extra guy till now, and we're excited to even keep going further. So the humbling, the appreciation for our fan base, which is incredible. They've stuck by us through every record we've made, whether it was a heavy record or a maybe a little different genre style record, or just the standard rock theory stuff that we're known for, the anthems, the party anthems, all that stuff, the breakup songs. When we've got them all, and yet all our fans are just like, it doesn't matter what you do, just go do what you do, and we'll be there. And that's crazy. Like how not like you said, there's not a lot of bands that get to say that. So it's extremely appreciative, and we love what we do, and we just are so excited to see what the future brings for us.
The other thing that I'm happy about with the band, and even though you coming into 2008, music videos were still an important factor on, bringing visual with the music. Do you feel that's becoming a lost art? I mean, you guys did it so well because you guys always had sort of like that Western style gunslinger kind of visuals to your music. Do you think that's a lost art now? Because now, personally, I don't even look for music videos anymore. I just like, let me hear the song, okay, and then I'm done with that.
I think you're right. I think it is a lost art. I think that the industry has changed quite a bit, and I don't want to say that it's gone,
No.
but I will say that it seems like it certainly looks that way, that it's not as important as it once was. Certainly once Much Music and MTV kind of stopped playing music videos, that's when you started to see the decline. And now in 2024, I know like last year we did a bunch of videos for the new record, and we were all kind of doing them and shooting the videos and all kind of talking to each other at the time, going, I wonder how much longer we're going to be doing these. You don't really know, but it's certainly a topic of conversation to kind of address that. Yeah. So it's interesting to see where it goes, but I don't know. I don't know that it's important as it once was.
I hope it comes back. I miss it. It's one of the
I
reasons
do
why.
too. And they're fun to make, honestly, because you get to go in weird, find fun locations. And I mean, the last video we did, or the last record stuff, we went out to the desert in Joshua Tree, outside of California, and like it's like amazing. You spend a day out there and just do goofy stuff, and you never know. It takes you to these neat places, so it's fun to do, and it takes about a day to get it done. Really. So, and it's just fun to be a part of that, like movie business, just for like one day. Even if there's no lines, it's just whether it be performance or some acting stuff, but it's still a taste, and I think it's a lot of fun.
I think that was one of the good things about COVID when it happened, because people were locked in and they were trying to get their music out there, so they wanted to do something different. So I found a lot of people went back to doing music videos because they could find an area, be private, record that, and then put that out there. So I'm hoping it's going to start to come back. But you did mention, man, new music. We mentioned new music. let's get to it, and I like to say, let's make this part official. What's the name of the new album, and how does it represent the band today?
All right. So first of all, let me back up. When I say new music, we're writing right now. So
Okay.
we don't have any idea of, anything like that. It's just in the beginning stages.
Right, but we are talking about something that has to do with can I say Jurassic Park? Oh, can I say that?
Oh, well, that record's up.
Yes. So let's talk about that. I like to say new because hey, I haven't had a chance to talk to you guys in a long time. So I'm gonna say new. So let's go over to that section.
Okay, so Dinosaur is the record that's out currently. Yeah. We've already released how many record singles? 3, maybe. I think
Yeah,
we had
it's true.
Dinosaur, two of us, and what else was released? I think was Medusa gonna go? I don't remember. And I don't
Oh, I'm
know
trying to think now too.
in certain countries are getting different singles too. So I'm trying to figure out who's getting what. Um, I know we've had 2 at least, in for the most part across the world.
But how is it representing you guys now, that album, when you guys released it?
Um, I think it is definitely a turn back to where we started,
Mhm.
but with a little bit of the new theory as well. So a lot of the newer songs a little heavier again, a little more rock oriented, but some of the production and some of the mixes were um they're not so hi-fi and so current modern sounding. They sound a little bit, in a different direction, more retro-y, but in a heavier version of style of writing. So it's a mix of that. Um and I think it was just to kind of go back to our fans and say, listen, we understand that we felt as a band that we needed to depart from the same old and go and do the last 2 records,
Mhm.
which was Wake Up Call and Say Nothing. And we went to a different producer. We went overseas and recorded him. We went for a totally different vibe, right? And the messages and the lyrics were very like deeper and darker and more serious topics. And we understood that we were going to upset some fans, but we also got a chance to bring in a load of new fans. Um, and so this record, Dinosaur, I thought we felt that we needed to really kind of go, thank you for being with us while we did that. Um, we needed to do it, and for our own sake, for our own sanity, because sometimes you get stale, and the last thing we want to do is be stale. So we took a different path, got very creative, and we thank everybody for being there with us. And then now we were like, now let's go back and let's give them a lot of new style music that kind of mixes a little bit of both. Um, and I think that's where the direction of the band is going now. Is kind of we're still going to be a rock band. We're not gonna change things drastically. But we'll still have those new styles that we have incorporated and make that the new look and go forward.
Now, when was the album actually written and recorded?
It was, what are we in 24? So what, 20,
Yeah,
20, when was Dinosaur was recorded in 21, maybe
21. Okay,
2022. It was right when we were allowed to, we were still able, it was right when we were able to go overseas.
right.
So we could actually fly over there.
So
We had,
2021.
so I guess it would have been 21. Yeah. Yeah, right. That makes sense because the record's been out for at least a year and year and a half, something like that.
Now, the reason why I'm asking that is because when you mentioned about the dark side to things and, not sure if fans were going to go for it, that was during, it sounds like the writing part or even the ideas were coming during COVID. And the reason why I say the word using COVID was because there were a lot of dark things that were going on then that we were seeing on social media. We were seeing in the news, seeing what was going on in Canada and the US, around the world. I mean, in a lot of ways, we're still seeing stuff going on now. But back then, there was as the word, what was it, woke became a word or a theme. Were the things that were going on during that COVID time, did it affect the writing into this album?
Um, no, I mean, sort of.
Okay.
I mean, I think maybe that might be more of a answer question for Tyler as far as lyrics, but
Even the feel of it.
I think, yeah, I think that, and having some of the heavier stuff, the heavier tones, heavier style of writing that we created was more of a release from the COVID times when everybody was kind of pent up and everybody was stressed,
Yeah.
and so we're like, let's write some heavier stuff and let's give it to them so they can just, if they want to use it, go to the gym or whatever, go for a run, or just use it to just kind of get their aggressions out. Sometimes heavier music it helps, funny enough, with some stress. Sometimes a lot of people they think that heavy music causes stress, but for people that enjoy it, it actually reduces it. So I think that was helpful, and definitely a thought process going into it, because we all had to fly over there with masks on for 11, 13-hour flights over to Sweden and stuff to do that. And it's kind of just like, so if you just play some heavy music, it just feels good, right? And it gives you that release. So I do believe that there was, even maybe subconsciously, that we did it and didn't even really realize it. But certainly I think COVID had something to do with it for sure.
So now you mentioned that you guys are in the process of writing new music. What's the feel on that now as we are out of COVID? But like I said, the world is still what it is today, man.
I think, I mean, I talked to Tyler about it recently, about like last week. We got on the phone and had a chat, and he's saying, I've got some ideas coming your way soon. I haven't really heard much of what his ideas are yet. I have a feeling that it's, from what he told me, that it's going to be it's going to be fun. It's going to be like good.
I'm glad.
Yeah, it's going to be fun rock. It's probably going to go back to the Gasoline, maybe Scars and Souvenirs style of writing. But I can't guarantee it. I think that's where he's going, but we'll see. He's going to send me some stuff very, very soon, he said. So once I hear all that, I'll have a better idea. But I have a feeling that's where we're going to go, because we want to have fun now. We're in the parts of our lives, as our career, as people, in our personal lives. I think we want to just have fun now. We're at an age, we got Ty and I are single. We got no kids and everything, but Dean and Dave they got kids, and they like to show their kids our music. So something fun and easy to listen to, I think, would be good for everybody. So,
Oh man, we definitely need it. Look, as we wrap this up, what advice can you give some of the young rockers? I mean, I did a couple of interviews before we started with some really talented acts. And of course, they're some of them are just a little bit, even though they're doing their thing, they're a little disillusioned because they don't know where to go. I mean, it was different back then in getting into the business. Is certainly, a different way to do things now.
yeah.
How do you keep the positivity going and keeping that focus on what you want? And hopefully, man, you're going to be performing. One of these artists that I've spoken to could be your opening act, or, sharing the stage or something like that. What advice can you give them?
My first advice that I always give is, even though the industry is changing, it's always going to be a struggle no matter what era we're in. So the only thing you can control is what kind of music you put out. And I think the art of songwriting is important. And so I would spend as much possible time learning how to be a songwriter, or working with people that are very good at songwriting, and making the best possible music you can write. Because I think everything else people will pay attention when you have that. If you're working on things that don't move the needle, like fashion and all kinds of performance style stuff. I mean, you got to have music, you got to have personality, and you got to have music. So work on that. That's important. People will pay attention if it's good product.
Amen to that. Brother, thank you so much for this interview.
My pleasure.
Thanks for even for as long as you've been with the band, for so many years of being able to do interviews with you guys. You guys have always been great with me. In fact, I'm trying to remember if I think you were there too when I did my interview, when I had my show on the mic with Rudy Blair on Rogers Television. It might have been when you first got with the band.
Oh,
So
I was '08. I came in.
yeah, so it would have been around that time period. So I got to look back at that one too.
A bit, I know. Ew.
um, Either way, man, I'm just glad at the fact that I can follow the band's journey all these years, and it's such an honor for that. But just as important too, the fact that you guys represent great Canadian rock and just great Canadian music around the world is so important. And knowing that this isn't the only music that we're going to be talking about years from now, we're still going to be talking about even more music from you guys. So congratulations and have a great show at Fallsview Casino.
We are excited to be there, believe me. As long as everybody gets there, we're going to be stoked. It's always nice to go up there.